quick intro for starting. I'm Jim, retired for over a year now. Took up stick making just as a pastime. Enjoy walking in the country, and just looking at woods and various other things and whatnot, and decided that I would take up making sticks. And as you can see behind me, and later around about me, it's kind of taken over just a little bit. But we will do our best. My youngest grandson says to me, "Grandad," he says, "you should think about getting a YouTube channel." I said, "A YouTube channel?" "Yes." He says, "You'd be good on that." And I said, "Oh, well, okay, we'll have..." So this is it. This is the attempt to, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, for anybody that's interested out there, you know, I'll run through hopefully a series of short films, and we'll go through the bits and pieces that's required. So, you know, let's make a start. First of all, it helps if you're a walker, if you're used to walking, getting round about and looking at things. Anyway, if not, so be it. You'll now need to start taking up walking. And the bits and pieces that you'll need with you when you do. What can we say? Where to start? First aid kit, probably. That's probably the first thing. Small one, but inside a good jacket with pockets to carry all the bits and pieces you'll need, and that's it. But also you will need a pruning saw, and this one here is one of the better ones, and it's a Felco 600. This one passed its best by now, but will need to be replaced at some time, or replace the blade. But believe it or not, it's cheaper to buy a complete new saw than it is to buy a replacement blade. But anyway, a Felco 600, string on, string off. At the end of the day, I leave it there, but it does snag at times, and can be a problem. But anyway, that's that. So something similar, something that, but certainly a lockable blade on it. And the reason for the first aid kit, of course, is because there will be times when you will cut yourself. How badly, we'll try and minimise that, but you will get cut and blood will flow, and so a small first aid kit's helpful. And a good pocket knife. This is one I've had for many a year and served me well. Good strong knife, one of them reasonably sharp. It's always better to cut yourself with something sharp than something blunt. Anyway, that's that. Now, it'll take a while to get used to looking for sticks, or something that will make a good stick. But take your time. Patience is the game, and just take it easy. And it takes about a year between cutting a stick. This one here is a hazel that has just been cut recently. This is the time of year when you want to go out cutting sticks. Leaves are all off, things are all back, sap's back, nothing's really surging, and you can get a good view. This, at the end of the day, will make a fine stick in a year or so's time. It will probably be a stick that it will end up as a crook of some sort, or certainly a tall stick. So hazel's been one of the popular sticks for stick making, but not necessarily so. I mean, you can diversify. Holly's another one. Chestnut. It's a piece of chestnut that I've cut this year too, and peeled back, and so it will make a good stick too eventually. But it takes a while to gather them, and you know, you've just got to work your way around about and see what's there. Wild rose, briar, it's also makes a very good stick. Very strong, very slow growing. Scottish strip timber grows a lot slower, than English, and therefore makes it a better deal. And stick makers tend to look for slow growing timbers. In the south of England, things tend to G up a little bit, like, you know. So also with the jacket, the first aid kit, the saw and the knife, and the first thing that you'll need a good pair of gloves and safety glasses for hawthorn. Blackthorn in particular can be a very dangerous business, and you will end up with thorns through gloves and that type of thing, but you will survive. Right? This is a piece of holly that has been cut already with the handle near enough where it should be, and it will dry out over the coming year and will be just part of the collection. Very little work needing done at the end of the day, and that's it. You know, we'll do that. Permission for cutting sticks, well, that's another thing altogether. It depends on who is already cutting sticks in your area, if you've got other stick makers around. So you need to kind of tread carefully and not stand on anybody's toes, but you'll soon find out, and take it from there. Right? This is also a wild rose, a briar that was cut with the handle already on it, and it's worked out reasonably well. Right? Bit of work getting it, tend to take the edge off the saw, but well, there you go. Right? So, looking for the timber, I mean, if you've no experience identifying timbers or sticks or trees or shrubs or anything like that, books or thing, you know, you get yourself some books out of the library. There's loads of books on stick making, you know, there's mountains of them out there. And there's a lot of do's and don'ts, and a lot of people they'll tell you to do one particular thing and not another, and all the rest of it. But you've just got to adapt it to suit yourself and the circumstances you're in. You know, I wouldn't put too much importance on what you read and thing with it. So use it as a general guideline to what you're doing. Be careful because there is elements of danger involved in certain bits, and especially working anything sharp. You know, things can happen. And also, if you're a dog walker, you really want to be careful. Make sure the dog's tied up and all your attention is devoted to what you're doing, and not keep an eye on the dog or small children or anything like that, because it puts you off your stroke. Right? Now, what else do we need to look at? As I say, there's loads of other sticks that we'll probably get into later on, and Blackthorn itself will probably require a full program, because it's a business, you know, so we'll devote something particular to that. Right? But in general, just getting started is the thing. Get out, have a look at what's growing round about you, and as I say, if you need to ask permission, most people don't mind you cutting the odd stick. Ideal places sometimes is to look for roads that have been done away with, particularly hawthorn hedges, and where they've been left, they've not been scalped every year. There's a good source of things, so you can look for roads that have been, old roads that have been done away with, and new ones put in their place, and you'll often find that there's areas been left, just things, and you'll find that hawthorn can grow to a good size there, and certainly makes a good stick. Motorway embankments tend to be, can be favourite places for hazel. It brings with it its own kind of dangers because of the fact that, you know, if you are cutting it in a motorway embankment or anything like that, you really got to be careful, and not that you're probably likely to wander on the motorway, but people see you and get concerned and phone the police, and the next thing you know, you've got the boys in blue beside you asking you what you're doing. A lengthy explanation ensues, and telling off for being where you shouldn't be, I suppose. there we go. But you know, it's just a case of getting out there and seeing what's in your area and take it from there. There's in the softwood situation, we go into a lot of that. You know, and believe it or not, Norway spruce is quite a good source. Plantations that have been planted up at some point and not thinned when they should have been. You know, you'll sometimes find that trees have died off at a particular age and are of a height and a size that cut there and then can near enough make a good stick as you stand. You know, personally, I don't use horn. I like wood. I like all my sticks to be wood, or near enough anyway. And so I gather loads of different handle shapes and that type of thing to accommodate all that. And as you can see, nature's very good. It provides near enough all the shapes you'll ever probably require. And if you look, once you get used to looking for them, you'll find them. And rhododendron in particular can make very good handles, extremely good handles. Yews another thing, but that's a softwood too. But this is a nice bit of yew on a stick that's there. Now that's a bit of chestnut that, as you can see, I'm not fussy whether they're bent or not bent. You know, I will turn most sticks into a walking stick of some shape or something. And then you get everything. You get somebody that likes particularly off. Right? So these ones have just been finished and varnished. Try as you might, at the end you tend to want to varnish them because it just gives them a lustre that it's better than anything else. I'm led to believe in the good old days butter was the thing, especially on the blackthorn sticks, butter was the thing. So this one's just a small bit of finishing to do to it, and this, believe it or not, is a bit of yew with a bit of a spruce tree root on top of it, and it just fitted the shank. It just worked extremely well. It'll take another rub down and another coat of varnish, but it's fine. It's lovely to the hand. And if they fit to the hand and they feel right to yourself, then they're probably going to feel right to other people too. You know, and you must